we do need to cover this finish because it is viable. However, I would say that outside of an MMA context, it's going to be really tricky to pull this off. What I'm talking about is this like 10-finger guillotine, which is, again, I don't really understand the difference between the terminology. To me, this is kind of the same shit as the 5-finger guillotine. But the idea is, if I can just borrow a second, is if we get someone's head down in our abdomen in like off of any kind of sprawl front headlock type position, and we get the chin strap, and we bring our partner's head in the center, and we start walking forward. Now, the problem with that as a finish in a non-MMA context is that if you don't have a wall to back someone into or a cage to back someone into, they can always move around, try to flip over, all that kind of stuff. The most likely circumstance for a finish like this, without the cage or the wall, and I'm certainly not going to try to demonstrate it on Rory, is if I were to like stand up and try to like lift his body off the ground while applying it. Again, not saying it can't be done. It certainly can if you're particularly strong and can like hoist a human being in the air, but it's not a finish that we want to really spend much time on. It's just, I want you to be aware that it exists, because if somebody is starting to get it on you, right, like if there's a chin strap and he connects his hands and my head is dead in the center, as he starts to hip it, yeah, it's gonna catch you pretty quickly. So we just need to be aware that because there's no real body control here, right, there's not really much of a secondary, I'm gonna be able to bail out of it. Right? I'm gonna give up position, but it's a hell of a lot better than getting finished with something like this. Again, I'm not trying to discredit it as a functional technique. It's highly functional in the right context, but outside of that ability to block, again, we talked about primary and secondary, there's a very powerful primary mechanism here. There's no secondary mechanism unless, again, you have the physicality to pick someone up, or you have an object, whether it's the, a wall or a fence or something like that, or your buddy just like holding your opponent for like, again, it's a real move. It'll work in a street fight. I'm not saying it won't. But for a, if you're here for strictly jiu-jitsu purposes for like competing or whatever, not really a super viable move, but be aware it exists. If you find yourself getting caught with it, just roll to your back and invert and defend. But yeah, we had to include it because we're trying to be comprehensive.